You want to leave everything like ready here, and then we go back there, right?
Yeah.
That's what you're doing.
Yeah.
Okay,
Here, like I'm preparing everything because this is this you want to do when you're like not in a rush. Like you want to really like think about what you're doing. Like this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you might wanna make sure that everything is aligned properly at the beginning. This direction is this guy. This moves it left, right. This puts it back. You see, this is like moving this guy to the back. Yeah, 22, 23.
Right?
Yeah. So you leave it like kind of in the middle so that you have room to go both directions to do your alignment.
They should be pointing upward, and the glass should be pointing downward.
So we did the lamp test.
The lamp test.
So lamp test, you like remove the wafer holder.
Yeah.
You put on the glasses. You press lamp test. This will slide in. It will measure the actual intensity down there.
Yeah.
Once you have it, you press lamp test again. It's gonna push back, and you're good. Then you load the chuck, the wafer holder.
Wafer holder.
So you slide this out. You put the chuck, put it back. Then you take your mask holder.
And this
You make sure that this is aligned.
Yeah, you align this one, and then you create room for for to be there.
And then you take your mask holder, you put it there, you connect the vacuum. You put your mask with the chrome side up, so the lower side down, which means that once we will load it, it's going to be the opposite.
Yeah.
Basically, you want the chrome to be touching your resin and your wafer. So once you've put this, you do change mask.
Okay, max. Yeah.
Right now it's saying that the mask vacuum is on because it's sucking down the mask. You can press enter to turn it off. So you see, like you can move a little bit.
Yeah. Well,
If I press enter, so enter toggle the vacuum.
Yeah.
So I press enter again, the mask vacuum is on. If your mask is not placed properly, this is going to issue an error. It's going to say like I can't take your thing. You flip it, but you're super careful. You leave your hand down there to make sure and then you slide this in. And then you press change mask again, and it's going to clamp. So what we're going to do is we're going to hide the features that we don't want to do right now.
Okay.
You can use acetone and isopropanol on it, so don't worry about that. So this. All right, good. So you see, the features that we want to do for the first step are exposed. The rest is covered. So now we're gonna just set up the program, select the program. What we're gonna do a vacuum contact type of exposure. Press this again. Yeah. Then edit program. Okay. Edit parameters. Okay. So you get the parameters. So with the X and Y arrows here, you can change between the different parameters of the program. So the exposure time you actually calculate it by using the power of the lamp and the energy that you actually want to send into your resin. So the energy, you can get it from microcam sheets that give you the properties of the resin. Pretty good estimate of what your illumination should be. Because we're gonna do like fairly high exposure times, you want your, let's say you're supposed to expose for like 60 seconds. You want to do 4 times 15 seconds because the resin heats up and then your details kind of swell if your resin heats up as you're eliminating it. So you do 15 seconds, you let it cool down, you do 15 seconds, you let it cool down. They recommend between 60 and 80 millijoules per square centimeter. And so we're gonna have to divide, say we're doing 80 millijoules per square centimeter for 9 seconds. Yeah, it's gonna be one shot, so we don't need to do multiple exposures. Good. So I'm just going to deactivate it.
So how did we deactivate things?
So you see how the LED is on? That's it. And then when you go back to edit parameters, you don't have the cycles thing anymore.
Ah, got it.
Okay. Exposure time is going to be 9 seconds. Yeah. Well, it's actually 9.2, so let's do 9.2. Okay, other parameters. That's the alignment gap. For now, we don't really care about it, but at one point when you're doing alignment, it leaves a gap of 50 microns between your mask and your wafer, so you can move your mask around with the knobs.
Yeah.
That's this parameter. Exposure type, no, we said vacuum. Pre-vacuum in seconds, 4 seconds pre-vacuum. So this is exposure time.
9. Just calculated, right?
Yeah, we just calculated it. The alignment gap, I told you it's to be able to move 50 is fine. You can do lower or higher. It's just you might want to do lower if you're not able to focus both on your crosses on your mask and the crosses on your.
Okay.
Or you can do higher if your resin is really thick and 50 micron is not enough, and you kind of have some resin being dragged around with only 50 microns. We shouldn't have that problem. Exposure type. So it's how the wafer and mask are going to be put into contact with each other. So you have several. So you have proximity, which is just like they get like close, but you don't really care. Flood exposure is really like not. You really don't care. It's just like you. I don't think they even touch them. It's just like you're flooding UVs. I think they do that when they're not using masks or whatever. Soft is like soft contact. It gets into contact, but it's like not applying a lot of pressure. Hard contact is like it gets into contact and it applies a lot of pressure to really have them like against each other. Low vacuum is it puts them into hard contact, and then it has, if you look at the holders, they have this seal on the outside.
Yeah.
So the seal is going to be touching the mask and it's going to suck out the air, so that removes air bubbles and really increases the contact between the wafer and the mask.
Got it.
And vacuum is just like a higher. Low vacuum is like it doesn't.
It's not so hard.
It's not super strong, and vacuum is like the strongest. And this is the best. Vacuum is the best contact. Small features or small thickness like we do, you're gonna want to do typically vacuum.
Okay.
So pre-vacuum is like, in the case of vacuum, pre-vacuum is that. So vacuum does first a low vacuum, and then a full vacuum strength. So it's like for how long you do the pre-vacuum, and then for how long you do the full vacuum before exposing. And then vacuum purge is like for how long it purges it flows air in before stopping this vacuum after exposure. So WEC, it's like wedge something compensation. So when you slide the wafer in and it's put into contact with the mask, it might be a little off actually. It might not be completely parallel with your mask. So if it's a little off, this will adjust. It will like do like several different angles until it's like really really parallel. Normally it does it by touching, and when it senses that it's that there's some strength, it stops and then it realigns. There's another setting which is spacer wake. I know it's worse. I don't know exactly how it works, but if you absolutely don't want your sample to touch, you can do it like that. So leave it to continuous. This is an offset, so it's like after you've done it, it applies some offset. Just leave this to 0. I don't know exactly what it is. All set. So press again, edit parameters to go back to the ready for load screen, and then once we've done everything we need with the wafer, we're gonna press load, put the wafer in, and do our exposure. Everything is ready. Good. We don't have to worry about anything.
Perfect.
All right.
Got it. Back to the spin now.
Okay. So we're gonna first do a plasma step. I've written here like which one we have to do. We're gonna do the plasma. The wafer, we're gonna put it in the plasma to activate the surface of the wafer.
Okay.
So that it adheres the resin better. And we're gonna put your wafer on here, put the resin, spin it, put it at 65 for 1 minute, then at 95 for 1 minute or 1 minute 30.
Got it.
Expose here, then put it back 65, 95, and then put it in the SU8 developer, and that will flush out everything that hasn't been exposed.
Got it. So there's nothing here yet, right?
No, we'll do it. I mean, we can do it now if you want. It's just the SU8 developer. I don't remember if it's here or here. It must be here. That's common use.
Common use, yeah, there it is. Okay, so you brought this whole thing.
Yeah, that's our
SU8.
Yeah. So I've made a mix of. So this is cyclopentanone. So if you look, this resin is very thick. I don't know if you see it, but it's very thick. It's the 2025. 25 is the typical thickness of what you're gonna get with it.
Okay.
This is 20. This is 2002. So if you look, it's like very liquidy.
Yeah.
And the only it's not the actually only difference, but it's this is a diluted version of this, and this is the solvent. So what I did is because the 2002 is typically too thick, I did a dilution of this one with this one, so it's like 57% SU8 and 43% cyclopentanone. Okay, so SU8 developer. SU8 developer bath. And then to stop so once you've done, we're gonna leave it, once you've done everything, we're gonna put it in here for 1 minute. When we're done, we take it with the tweezers and we use isopropanol to wash out the SU8 developer that's left on the wafer to stop the development, and then that's it. You can look at the SOP here, but let me show you. So log out. So normally this is how it looks. So if sometimes the screen is off, you just need to touch it. It will wake up. We're gonna do an oxygen plasma. So this valve should be in this position. So first you log in. So log in. Operator is me. Okay. All right. A load recipe. Okay, so 300, 5 minutes. So 500. So before you can open this, you need to take it out of hibernation. So it's hibernating if this is yellow. So okay, so it's venting the whole thing. We're just gonna slide this guy in there. Yeah. Should be. It's fine now. Okay. So you can pull those guys. They're a little hard to pull, but you can pull them out. You'll want to put your sample really in the middle. Space that's really smooth and very like a mirror. And this face that's like more matte.
Yeah. All right.
That's Good. And then that's it. You just put it in. You make sure it's closed, and you press run. And boom. That's gonna take a few minutes, and then when it's done, it's gonna beep really loud, and you can just open the door and take your sample out. You weren't here for this part. I put the wafer in the plasma. I mean, we put the wafer in the plasma. I took it out.
You immediately came here, right?
Yeah, I immediately came here. I put it on here. I spread resin all over the wafer. This guy, the mixer.
The one we
And I had one of these guys that you can get from there. I spread the resin all over. Put the vacuum on and press start. It ran the recipe that.
Start is the black one, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It did its thing. I took it off, turned off the vacuum, put it on here for 1 minute.
Yep.
Then here for 1 minute, 30 seconds.
Yep.
And then I took it from here. Here, all you have to do, here it says ready for load.
Yeah.
And this guy is blinking. So you're gonna press load. It's gonna say put sample, like take tray out and put sample or whatever. So you pull this guy out.
All right. So it was 1 minute there. At the end. Can you just repeat it? So like you put it at 1 minute.
1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute.
1 minute here shaking. Good.
Yeah, kind of like gently.
Okay. From plasma, you basically spin already here.
Yeah, plasma. I just ran the recipe that we had set.
Yeah. So
Then put it at 65, then 95, 65 for 1 minute, 95 for 1 minute 30, and then put it on the aligner, do the exposure.
Here is the liner, and then the exposure, and then he brought it back very quickly here to 65 again, 1 minute, and then there is washing. Yeah. You wash out to remove all those developer. Using isotope now.
Yeah. This looks good.
So this reflected face surface was always facing up.
Yeah,
when
yeah,
you were
yeah,
baking, right?
Yeah.
And
all
also
the time.
here.
Yeah.
Okay. Is the reflective one where you put the resin?
Yeah,
On.
that's the
Okay.
smooth one. The other side is like not polished, and so it's like not very flat, and so it can. I mean, it's not the face that you use for making anything. I don't know if you see the little features in between. Let's turn this one on. Recipe. Okay, so it's the Dunlop recipe. It's gonna do over a length of 2 millimeters. This many samples, blah blah blah. It's gonna go in this direction. This I've never modified. This means that it's measuring both highs and lows.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna place.
It's just hard to know like where.
Yeah.
where
I'm
you
seeing
find
one,
the line.
but we'll see.
So what exactly we're trying to align?
The stylus that's here, and
Yeah, we're seeing the
one of the
reflector,
small
right?
one of the small objects. Going to this view thing. Blah blah blah. Right.
What is
Okay.
that?
So now it has touch. So I'm just gonna go up a little, and then I'm gonna move in X and Y to find our sample.
Okay. So you're looking from top, right?
Yeah, because our features are our thing is really small. I think it's
Yeah.
gonna be really annoying.
You got the cross and then it just moves like axis.
Look
How
good.
how it looks like.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I think you should just tilt it a little bit, right? Just because it.
turn it around.
Yeah, turn a little bit just for
Yeah,
you to
but
reach to the other part. Oh, yeah, good. Now I think you're aligned now. Yeah.
Sort
Well,
of.
a little bit less, a little bit less, or more, a little bit more. Yep. Yeah, you got 90 degrees here. Perfect.
Okay.
Good.
All right. Let's
Now you
go.
go all the way down.
Let's see.
I can look at your. Yeah, you got it.
Nice. Okay. So those are your things.
Okay. Good.
How big are they again?
They are 50 by 40 micron.
Oh. It's zoomed, but it's not like we have more details. So. Okay, we're between 1 and 1.5 micron here. And you want to spin faster, probably.
You want 0.91, right?
Yeah, something like that. But we're
You
still
think it's
gonna
good?
make it. We're still gonna make it and see what we get out of it.
Okay, yeah.
You know?
Then like spin, then put some cells like on the chip and see. Okay.
Yeah.
We just moved slightly from one to the other to release the next cross here. We're not gonna do the vacuum contact because
Yeah, because it doesn't make sense for something this thick. So I'm editing parameters. I calculated that the necessary exposure for this the thickness that we want is 17 seconds. Yeah, 17 seconds, 17.5. And yeah, we're gonna do a hard contact, not vacuum contact.
Okay.
Edit parameters, and we're good. So when this is ready, we're gonna develop the part that has the crosses because we
Okay.
cannot see them through the resin. So we're gonna develop the resin where the crosses are,
Just to see them.
just to be able to see them, and then we're gonna put the whole thing on top.
Okay. Putting the developer on only on the crosses.
Yeah. As you put one
Really
more
looks
there.
like we're fucking up everything.
Yeah. No, but it's fine. The features are here, so we don't care about. But once you press load, put it on here. Yeah, align those little things. Yeah, that's pretty good. All right. Slide it in. Press enter. So now it's doing, yeah, so it says that, whatever, you press enter. It's doing the thing where you see contact.
Yep.
Still doing this wag thing. And then, all right, okay. So now, in part of the procedure,
Turn the monitor on.
alignment. So the program is already set. Edit parameter, it's done. I'll just double check it. This.